Imagine a world in which nothing works. Imagine a world in which no one takes responsibility. In such a world, the systematic chaos, the lack of communication, the absence of information, etc. would quickly invade everyone's lives. All processes would become a continuous trial and error. And although sometimes situations like these may happen to us, both the known technology that has been used correctly and applied scientific and technological knowledge have prevented this from being the norm. The current reality, the world in which we live, can be represented as a dense network of processes of a diverse nature, weakened by increasingly more complex technologies and sciences, where sometimes just one error, one flaw can halt all system interactions. In a demanding world like today's, the institutions guaranteeing national defense, the companies devoted to the manufacture of materials and supplies for various uses such as food, health and clothing, or production platforms associated with high technology cannot make mistakes or fail in any way. The question then arises, how is it possible to minimize this uncertainty or risk? Or rather, how can we control this through certification of the compliance required? It is key for IDIC, Chile's Institute of Army Research and Control, to contribute to the following scenarios or fields of action in order for progress to be sustainable, credible and durable, ensuring that the different defense assets, systems or subsystems, components and other elements work as they should. Thus, it is part of IDIC's vision to be recognized as a national benchmark for quality certification, diagnosis and consulting, for defense and control technologies for a wide range of elements, materials and systems. In short, IDIC's management in the fields of responsibilities, processes and procedures is divided into three departments called Weapon Systems, Chemical and Engineering, and a third fundamental and strategic area for Chile's testing bench, which has national coverage and impact, as well as the commercial and administrative support departments. We invite you to become familiar with what we are so passionate about and see what the IDIC team does every day. Weapon Systems Department. This department provides quality consulting and verification for the acquisition process, as well as consulting and diagnosis for the life cycle of weapons and communication systems, ammunition and military vehicles, supplying the Army and Armed Forces calibration needs for measurement instruments and equipment, while meeting the requirements of the public and private sectors. It performs its functions through 6 specialized laboratories. Weapons and Ammunition Laboratory, responsible for the certification and testing of weapons and ammunition, ballistic tests, accident inspection, as well as the analysis and determination of the lifespan and operability of various types of weapons. Military Vehicles Laboratory, responsible for checking the quality of new, used or specially equipped military vehicles, as well as for testing prototypes, changing technologies and consulting in various fields. Electronic Laboratory, responsible for the certification, testing and verification of electronic equipment and networks in the areas of communications, optics, optoelectronics and command and control. Metrology Laboratory, meets the calibration needs for measurement instruments and equipment in the areas of mass, length, force, pressure and volume, which are accredited by the National Standards Institute (INN) under ISO standard 17025 and are certified by INOR in 9001-2008. This laboratory also provides traceable calibration services in the areas of temperature, electrical levels and time of frequency. Mechanical Testing Laboratory ensures the quality of materials acquired and used by the Army in the metallurgy and sciences of materials area, which focuses on the testing of materials, expert inspections and product conformity verifications with regards to standards and/or specifications, establishment of the operability of items or products in use. National Force Magnitude Standards Laboratory. This laboratory is part of Chile's metrology network, led by the National Standards Institute or INN, which belongs to the National Economy Department. The INN is responsible for the calibration of force measurement instruments and equipment used as calibration standards to grant metrological traceability for all measurements in this magnitude that are made in the country. As it is part of the National Metrology Network, this laboratory is accredited nationally by the INN and internationally by the German accreditation body, DAX. Chemical Department. Responsible for quality certification of clothing and equipment items, as well as energy and food supplies, which are required by the Army, the rest of the Armed Forces branches, the National Police and civilian entities. In order to perform these functions, it has 6 specific laboratories. Central Chemical Laboratory, responsible for the physical-chemical analysis of the alloys of different materials requested by IDIC departments as well as by other institutions and civil companies. Food Laboratory, performs quality certification for food, water, utensils, food handlers and surfaces, applying procedures for raw materials to the finished product. The certification includes microbiological, physical-chemical, nutritional and organoleptic analysis. This laboratory is accredited by the INN's quality standards. Textile and Technical Specifications Laboratory, responsible for conducting the analysis and controls to certify the quality of clothing products and military equipment, also providing services to other branches of the armed forces, police and civilian companies that request it. Energy Supplies Laboratory, designed to support the institution in making decisions with regards to the operational status and monitoring of the ammunition life cycle. Leather and Footwear Laboratory, certifies compliance with national and international standards and specifications in the areas of polymers, leathers and personal protective equipment, as well as in reviewing prototypes. Paint Laboratory, performs analytical services, consulting and physical-chemical tests on industrial and decorative coatings for a wide range of applicants in the military field, government and civilian, such as construction companies, universities and national departments. This laboratory is accredited under the standard ISO 17025. Department of Engineering, Research and Development. This department is responsible for managing all activities and tasks related to the field of engineering, providing advice on the development of institutional and internal projects. It is responsible for the testing of prototype weapon systems, especially of military vehicles. The highlight of this department is the implementation of an environmental testing laboratory, which has the ability to perform climatic tests and mechanical environmental simulation tests. Chile's Test Bench. This department complies with one of the Republic's laws as a national representative of this function. Thus, it is one of the most important departments, responsible for exercising quality control of the use, storage and transport of weapons, ammunition, explosives and related materials which are manufactured in or are imported into the country. Also, it is the center responsible for the control of all weapons in the country, providing specialized technical consulting to Chile's National Transportation Department and Chile's National Police's control authorities, agencies that oversee weapons and ammunition control in the civilian community. An aspect of vital importance for this area are its functions relating to the large mining cluster and mining extraction, the country's principal industry. In these areas, through its branches and offices, IDIC plays a crucial role in checking and certifying all of the explosives and detonators produced, imported, transported and used on site during mining extraction throughout the country. Since its inception, IDIC has demonstrated its solid commitment to increasing the Army's skills and competencies, contributing strongly to the country's social and economic development. As an important part of the institution's social responsibility to analyze, register, measure and control the quality of the private industry's production. IDIC was created to advise, monitor and investigate, and it is here to stay for another 100 years. That is what it did when it was created, and that is what it still does today, 100 years later. This has been and will continue to be the courage, the drive and the stamp to mark the future of our institution, which is always alert, always ready to make this world a safer, more reliable and more predictable place. Every time a pen is used, every time communications equipment connects you with someone, every time a mining operation is performed anywhere in the country, there is a group of people that have worked to make that happen. The security of our country, national defense technologies, weapons control and supply control, which is so vital, like food or clothing quality control, is also in the hands of a highly qualified unseen staff with solid values and principles based on rigorous military training, which guarantees and will continue to guarantee that all Chileans can live in peace and for peace with a security that allows us to wake up every day in a just, sovereign and above all, free nation. IDIC, Institute of Army Research and Control, protecting quality since 1911. Science and technology in the service of the nation.